So Cancer, I'm just going to, I'll pull some other cards here as we go along, but I want to say first off is this, well, first off, I'll just say thank you to my friend who actually gave me the cloth. I know you guys can't really see it well. I'm always kind of doing things in a rush, so I don't have a lot of time to prepare my space and make it look amazing because I'm always kind of out and about. But in the meantime, I will try to give you a read here for Cancer for the month of 2024, October. All right, so in lieu of October being a Halloween season of Halloween, I thought I would do the Halloween deck, which is the Hocus Pocus Disney cards. Now, some of the cards, again, I'll mention a couple of things. As far as the cards themselves, I don't use this deck very often, so you have to bear with me as I kind of mull through. But as far as the actual read as it goes, is generally, I mean, everybody's going to be at their own. So I can't find my words today. But everybody's going to be on their own timeline, so you're not all making a decision on a Monday. As I said before, for other people, it's a general read. Take it as it resonates. It doesn't have to be your today. But as it stands, we're just going to dive in. Okay. All right, so first off, what I do see here for the month of October is you are dealing with some kind of a tower moment. There is something that does speak to, maybe I'll try to just bear with me here though, but anything that's in around a tower moment, obviously something that's pretty significant. I don't want to say that it's necessarily a complete tearing down of your world and everything being shaken up, but I will say that it is the main card that's out here for October. But on the upside here as well, we also have the Temperance further out. So just know that whatever you're dealing with currently, it is something that is going to be dealt with, because you do have the Temperance card. You're protected from whatever it is that you're initially facing, and there is obviously something of significance here that's kind of you know, being brought to your attention. So like I said, the Tower is that card of making some significant changes in an area of one's life, whether by, usually it's not by your own doing, it's something that you may have had a sense was coming, but not able to really deal with it in the way that it comes in. So again, tower moment is definitely something that's kind of that breaking apart of, you know, the old foundation or the structure, or feeling some kind of less than situation where it kind of is an unexpected up. What I would say here is the card that it's around is the Ten of Potions. So in this particular deck, the Ten of Potions is that card of 10 is all about a finishing of something here. And again, even in this particular deck, the Tower does present as, you know, a shift of some sort here as well. But I would still say, because you're at the level of a 10, just know that this is going to be finishing up pretty soon here. So despite being right in the face of it, this sense of chaos or having an uncertainty about whatever the situation is, just know that you are brave enough to get past this, because the cards here that indicate you're in that knight's position, you are taking action, you're dealing with it. So even though there's a slight disruption here in what you feel is maybe a sense of incapacity around control over your world, just know that there is something that you're able to escape from in this energy. Like I said, the Ten of Potions is that card of really, it's a finishing cycle. In this particular deck, though, I'm just trying to get a sense of where that one is. But like I said, anything that's dealing with a 10 period is pretty much over there. Actually, now that I see that, that is actually more a matter of potions would be more of an emotional kind of energy there. So I would say, even though it's a 10, it does seem to be around a family cycle, whatever that is. There's a little bit of a disruption around family or friends or community, or something that you would consider to be close to you. Or, you know, so whether this is, it feels like you might be feeling a little in that area. I would say that this is where you felt once connected. There's now some kind of a separation or holding back, expectations not being met in that realm. So, but just remember, you know, everybody's only human, and only you can only deal, they can only deal with what they can at the time that they're with something, and they may not be there for you in the way that you had hoped. And it does feel like there's a little bit of that energy around something that you feel has been, you're very to you, has been disrupted or in some way has kind of put you off. Hi, Devansha. I'm good. It's it's my morning, so of course I'm a little dull without, yeah, 15 cups of coffee, slightly exaggerating. Anyway, but anyway, it does feel like there's something here around close relationships or connections. You're waiting for me. I appreciate that. But it does feel like Cancer, as though, you feel like there's a certain level of the family life or community or friendships, something about a drifting away there where something has become a little bit on the hostile side. So I would say that this is a sign that you are ready for a new beginning, something, that is a lot more supportive. When we get to the Knight of Potions, and again, this is all very emotional energy here. So I definitely feel like you're in that space of kind of working with that part of yourself, where you need to be giving yourself a lot more compassion, attention, care. And hi, Ramesh. Yeah, I will do a reading for you guys at the end. I don't want Cancer's reading to be confused with yours as well. Definitely, I do feel like I found a romantic cycle, or a message that was to be received. Felt like there was an imbalance there of some sort. I feel like you're kind of in that space where you're a little bit moody. There's maybe a little bit of drama, or it really doesn't need to be drama, because I feel like, despite things feeling a little bit off this month, I feel like things are going to show your favor. Um, there could be an issue around jealousy here with this card as well, with the Knight of Potions. And again, there's still something here about a message that you will be taking action towards something here. And we also have the card Temperance. So, of course, the big energies out is the disruption and the chaos with Tower, but it's also bringing in a sense of balance. So you've got it under control. And again, somehow it writes itself here because you've taken the precautions to, use your mind to, whatever you've learned, and the lessons learned would be how they've transformed you. So this is obviously something emotionally that you are competent with. Thank you very much, Devansha. Appreciate that, the donation. But again, the element of temperance does help to balance out whatever you're dealing with, and it does bring in some kind of a spiritual connection for you, to help you through that journey. So again, whatever dark sort of energy you're sort of dealing with, whatever disruption around a happy home or that balance or that family or that community, whatever it is that you consider foundation, just know that whatever that disharmony was, it is going to right itself same period in the same month. It might be slightly further out and in creating more of that balance, but it does start in the month of October. So it's almost like it's an immediate shift. So again, the imbalance may be drawing you away from where you found harmony or peace, but just know that whatever that tradition was, whatever that place that you found yourself balanced in, it's going to be okay. Like I said, you're just going with the journey as you did before. And the reason why I say that is, sorry guys, don't know what the connection issue is with my phone, but either way, I'm still keeping it going. So just stay on with me. It should kicking in here. Okay, so again, that Fool energy does represent a new journey here. So there's something of a new goal or a new start, something that you were, hoping to kind of embark on. Your new adventure is still here. It's still right in front of you in the month of October. But it just means that, and again, it's like you pick up the pieces pretty quickly with that Knight energy, and you're quick to accept whatever the imbalance was or whatever there was. And it's like you just keep on going. So you start up the journey again here. There's something here that's just around the corner that's going to be more of a reward for you. The fact that the Page of Lightning is here, pages bring in good information, good news, something here, and it seems like it's sparking a quick level of information that's coming through. So it's almost like as soon as the chaos came in, immediately something writes itself and turns into something that's more clear. So it's almost like you're getting clear on the path as well. So it's like a new truth or a new possibility, or you've got a curiosity about, and it just seems to spark your mind a little bit here. So you are ready to seek out this new challenge. And I feel like you're facing everything, with a lot more. Um, you're recovering from things a lot quicker, Cancer. So it's again, what I see here is an immediate kind of turnaround to get back onto the path of journey here. And as well, even when I see the Eight of Potions, lots of emotional energy, but it's almost like you're figuring it out now. You're starting to figure out what's going on, and so because of that, whatever you had to let go of that was a little bit dear to you in terms of a relationship, career, hobby, whatever, just know that it's for the best because you have a new path here. So something about that you are opening yourself up to the new, and this is where new path, as I said, with the Fool is here. So just know that you can't sit idle with a Knight card. With a Knight, you're taking an immediate energy to kind of right the wrong. So there might have been something that didn't go as planned, but again, somehow it's going to right itself. So just know that whatever don't hold on to the suffering, is what I also want to say here, because your fears allow stagnation, and this is not the energy that I see for the most part. A lot of the energy here is quick. You're remedying the situation very quickly. Okay, so now we're on to the Nine of Potions. And again, there's lots of concern and worry over something that, maybe you feel you couldn't control. You're still kind of rolling it around in your mindset, all the possibilities of why something was so much of a challenge, didn't go well, and all of that. But the Nine of Potions, like I said, tells me that the challenges that you faced will have great rewards. You are dissatisfied with the rewards currently, even if there are some rewards that have come through. I think expectations might have been a little bit too high when you have to actually, when all of the expectations should really come from um, just putting out the effort. It's not about what the end result is so much as it's the effort. What did you do today that allowed you to increase your value? So, and whatever that is for you, it doesn't have to be monetarily, but did you increase your value by, learning a new skill set or something like that? Because this is that energy of it's also a card of neglecting some of the spirituality, some of the things within ourselves that, that we almost obsess about, we're of lack, things of lack. So I just feel like this is that energy where you are not appreciating rewards that you've already gained. And I do feel there have been some rewards because you're not connecting yourself to your spiritual level of things. So it's almost like if you're going through life with a disconnected sense emotionally, then it doesn't matter what comes in, doesn't matter what changes, doesn't matter who comes in. You appreciate it because you're not living in that moment. You're not allowing yourself to feel, basically, is what I would say there. So again, it's kind of, I mean, I do feel like there's some action to kind of get rid of some of the energy there, but again, it just is like you need to open up a little bit more on the emotional front to sort of deal with the scenario. Okay, so now we're going to go into these ones are from my son, who I love dearly. And so these are cards that he got me. And this is the Astral Realms Crystal Oracle. So this is actually crystals that are on cards, basically. So this is what I see for you. This is what's kind of happening. I wonder if this is better off to the side. Let me just see what I can do there, guys. I don't know if you can see that very well, but okay, let's bring it back this way. All right. Okay, so what I see here is the card of transcendence. Now, it's a number 1, so we're definitely talking about something that is a significant shift. Things are definitely, and again, this is not a deck that I use very often, but I am going to start using more often. So if I refer to the book on this, please do not be alarmed. It is just until I familiarize myself with the deck. Anyway, in short, Moonstone is transcendence represents. So this is the crown chakra. So this is where healing is taking place. So this is where the healing is taking place. And again, there's something here about inspiration, spiritual protection. So we did have the Temperance card come out in the other deck. So again, it's the same sort of idea, but your soul is craving for something. And it feels like you have your soul's craving something, but the card references a karmic connection. And it also indicates that there's something here about remembering the lessons that you've been taught in the past lives so that you can advance through your soul cycle. So eventually, your soul cycle. So eventually, you're going to reach that level of transcendence where you no longer need to learn these karmic lessons. So instead, your soul is going to just ascend to a divine council of light to teach and guide others on how to reach their own state of transcendence. So it's like you're moving into this space where you're going to be teaching others. So the moonstone is really a pivotal transition. It allows your physical body to release any feelings of emotional instability and stress so that your inner strength can be renewed. So this is what you're bringing in, the healing white light that immerses you in the tranquility, the calmness, and it helps you to reach a higher frequency and be in alignment with your higher self. So moonstone's energy activates, heals the seventh chakra, which is the crown chakra, and this is where your higher self resides. So if you have the crystal, then you would place it above your head and you would direct your connection to the source energy. How I like to do it is I'm actually seeing almost like this opening up and white light divining from this opening in the sky as it comes down and it hits where it sheds light onto the heart space and goes through the crown, but it's very directly connected to the heart space. And there's a book that you should also read, guys, if because I'm doing a lot of things, but it's Heart Energy. I believe is the name of the book. Let me actually just look it up here because it talks about how, you've got your heart, the cells of heart are also in the brain and so on, and the brain cells are in the heart. And so really everything is very much connected in ways that we are not likely to understand in this lifetime. But I think that when we align ourselves with certain frequencies, I think that it helps us to tap in a little bit to allow for that healing. So anyway, okay, going on with this, it is placed just above the crown. The moonstone's placed above the crown of your head. But again, I activate that even when I go outside into the sun, I close my eyes and I just allow that white light to come through me and, across my arms and directly into the heart space, because that is a very powerful, powerful connection. They don't really know where consciousness comes from. I mean, there's all kinds of theories that are out there, but certainly with the heart space, it's called the heart's code. That's what it is. But the heart's code, and it just talks about, sort of the frequency of the heart and how it does have an electrical energy. So if you start looking that up, you're going to realize that everything right down to, your cellular level has an energetic component. There's magnetism that's a part of it, your electrons, everything. I don't know all the chemistry behind it, but I do know that there's a lot going on there. Anyway, so and I will definitely answer your question here pretty soon here, Devancha. Okay, so what we're getting on to here is a higher level of consciousness, basically is what it's telling you to do, to activate your healing, because you should have known the lessons, the karmic lessons, and be able to recover from this faster. And that is where I see that going anyway. So we're now into introspection. So this is that obviously reflecting on one's lessons, one's life, one's purpose. It's a self-sufficient card. It's really one of building confidence and, allowing yourself to be a lot more free thinking. So a very important part of yourself that you are trying to spiritually reconnect with. And again, it's taking the time and the space to examine your emotions, your thoughts, strengths, your weaknesses, all of those things, and really address the areas that you've kind of left unanswered. So if you left something, without any kind of resolve, then it's going to keep erupting. It's going to keep coming back until you address it. So you want to make sure you ask yourself the questions that allow you to check in with whatever that issue is. And then, and if you don't have an answer for it, then you have to find a way to accept it. So there's something here about kind of deep diving into, the places where you have left unchecked. You're going to recheck, refocus your mind, your emotions, and your thoughts, and head in the direction that gives you a way of growing through it and developing more spiritually. So it's mindfulness, it's finding ways to accept it. If you don't have all the answers of why somebody's acting the way they are, or why something isn't moving in the way that, then that means that you need to take another action, a different kind of action, to be able to advance something. So keep skill building yourself up, not just spiritually, not just in the mental areas, but also in the physical areas, because the physical impacts the mental. We are physical beings. So it's just healthy reflection is what you want to do, is give back to yourself in those moments of healthy reflection. Anything that's going to help you to connect back to your body, emotions, thought, spirit, all of that. You've got to find a way to connect back to you, because there's a certain numbness that's kind of coming in there. But that self-reflection is right with this particular card, and this helps you to remain calm. So in the midst of chaos, where you start to overanalyze thoughts and all of those things, just try to remind yourself to be flexible, think more freely, don't box yourself in, because it'll boost your self-confidence when you're able to articulate thoughts. If you don't know how to articulate your thoughts and convey your message, then you need to learn how to do that. And ways to learn how to do that is how to become a public speaker. How do you write an essay? Look online, how to communicate with a lover, how to communicate with a partner, how to communicate with people in business. Like, there's all kinds of videos out there that help you to kind of grow that aspect of yourself, looking for body signs, looking for gestures, looking for ways to people read based on movements, arms, gestures, movement, anything. It seems to be, does a person look off to the right or the left? Even the CIA has measures of awareness and reading people. So these are all resources anyway. Okay, so anyway, we're talking about being self-sufficient and not to put all your happiness into the hands of others to make you happy, because that's not really where you find yourself. Your strength comes from releasing the blockages and meditation for some of you, but it's also kind of clearing the old blockages around those lingering emotions that keep coming in, so they don't allow you to move forward. So you need to find a way to move forward in your life by making changes within you. You can't change other people. Okay, so the next card out here is regeneration, and they do seem to all, work together clearly. So you're in that space where you're trying to regenerate who you are, remember who you are, and sort of persevere on. So basically, regeneration is you're protected, but you need to be grounding yourself. You need to go out into nature. You need to, involve yourself with things that are more tangible, like things. There are things in life that are constant, and usually that's things like nature. People are cyclical. Things go through changes in those areas deliberately, so that we make the changes and show that we can adapt. If you're adaptable, you can be successful in any area of your life. So regeneration is the act of physically and spiritually becoming renewed. So it's basically, again, shedding skin, so that you can make the changes that are necessary to grow yourself in the path toward enlightenment. But again, you're trying to spiritually reconnect. Here's what I see here. And this is a place where you're going to begin to change your behaviors. You're going to change your thoughts, your actions, and your reactions, because this is where you regenerate your spirit. So again, it's where you need to realize that what you had to go through was needed. It was essential to experience, because you had to put in the work. You wouldn't have put in the work if you didn't have a blockage in front of you. So you didn't really know where you were blocked necessarily until you see something block you. So if you are disconnected, then how do you find a way to reconnect and re-engage? You have to tap into, hobbies or things that reignite you again. So that only comes from trying different things. Now, when you're working on your shadow self, this is where you're obviously having to go deep into the areas where you have dark emotions, or where you've compartmentalized your emotions. So this is also where you want to challenge those areas. So if you feel disconnected from your heart space or from your mental space, or you're too much in your mental space, how do you disengage from cyclical thoughts? You have to break it down and analyze it. Is everything I believe true? Yes or no? Do I control all aspects of the situation? Yes or no? Am I able to find some value in the day? Yes or no? Like, you have to ask the questions that help you to break down your own ruminating. So again, staying in that space too long can also, create too much intensity. So it's also about knowing when to sort of take a break and reground, go out into nature, or do things that help, that are that are a constant. They're always there, that you can rely on, taking a drive or whatever. But not to stay stuck in the head. Do something new. Put your body into some kind of physical motion to sort of break the emotion, break the mental pattern. So anyway, something along that line is what I see there. So again, there's something here about regeneration. You're not really, as they say, energy and cells never die. This is that space where you transmute things. So you have to allow yourself to regenerate in some way, because the energy is going to be there. There will always be levels of hate. There will always be levels of blockages. There will always be. So how do you make that work for you instead of blocking you? So just know that black tourmaline is associated with this because it is a grounding energy, and it helps to shield from negativity, and those kinds of energies in your environment. So again, still doing, you can do sage and, keep a window open, let air flow through, feng shui, all of that, anything that helps you to kind of clear your mind space, interrupt the thoughts. It's mostly about interrupting the thoughts. Do a little bit of shadow work and then interrupt the thought. And then go back to it, doing a little bit more, only if you're making progress, meaning you're able to, keep yourself, if you go into a dark space, you want to be able to shake off the energy, meaning if you do something physical, go for a walk, whatever, that shakes off the energy as well. Anyway, into initiation. So this is aragonite, which is a fire element. So this is about ignition. This is about a revelation. This is where you're starting to get, because it feels like in this energy you've been blocked. It feels like too much time procrastinating, trying to find reasons to avoid things instead of actually getting out there to succeed. It's almost like you're afraid to succeed, because in able to succeed, you have to have a lot of failures. You don't get success right off the bat. It takes pain of redirection. So it's like you're afraid to fail and take on some of the shame that you might impose on that. Instead of feeling shame, know that it was a part of the process. You have to take a level of failure to know how to redirect yourself. So this is about, when you know that you have a supportive team or group or family or whatever around you, that's when you take advantage of those things. So this is that understanding that you need to take action now, because there's a level of procrastination. There's something here that, the night is here. The night did show up. So there is some level of action, but more so in the emotional space. It's almost like you need to be doing more in the physical space. So you need to be doing more, I don't know, exercise or getting in. Hi, Pure Soul. Hello. But yeah, you need to be doing more that is helping you to radiate that energy, that good vibration, getting that out there. You need to find ways to release stress instead of just ruminating on it, because that's putting more procrastination. So you need to have, and it's creating more emotional fatigue, basically. It's stifling you. So again, this energy is suppressing you. And so you need to resolve that by letting it go, but also doing something in the physical space by confronting it, growing through it. The only way you're going to grow through it is, our thoughts. There was, I don't know why my memory is so shoddy these days, but anyway, I am probably just tired and doing too much, as I was told from someone. Anyway, but there was, a lot of people that have become very successful. I mean, you're successful first within before you become successful outside. So you have to change your self-talk and able to kind of get to a space of feeling good again. So whatever success means to you, it doesn't necessarily have to mean that it's monetarily, but how would you talk to a child? How would you talk to someone that you're trying to give good advice? That's how you should be talking to yourself, basically. All right, so now we're going to do just more things here. We will do, maybe I'll do this one. No, we'll do this one. Okay, this is the Crow's deck. Guys, gotta drink the coffee, gotta wake up. Anyway, not a morning person. All right, so we'll just do a couple of questions here on what is coming in for Cancer in the month of October 2024. What are the big energies? What are the good things? What are the challenges and the obstacles to work through, and the advice? What's coming in for Cancer in the month of October? Clarify, Queen of Pentacles. What is coming in for Cancer? Whoops, sorry guys, dropping the cards. What's coming in for Cancer in the month of October 2024? What's coming in the month of October 2024, Cancer? What is the Knight of Wands, which is showing up twice here? Ooh, Five of Swords. What are the good things that are coming in here? Eight of Wands. Clarify. What other big energies are coming in here for the month of... Sorry, I keep dropping cards, guys. The big energies coming in for Cancer in the month of October that they will be dealing with. What is the King of Cups? What is the Two of Pentacles? What are their finances like? What are the finances looking like? What's the Chariot? What is the main focus? Okay, and why the Two of Cups? All right. All right, so it looks like this, first off, I'll just kind of generalize it here and then kind of get a little more specific, but it does look as though there is some issues around your emotional, for sure, that you're definitely dealing with. I would say that things will balance out here as you go through. Again, some of you, it's going to be a little further out because it depends on how quickly you can work through some of this energy. But overall, the first card out here is speaking to Queen of Pentacles. And of course, the Queen of Pentacles is that of, really having a sense of one's resources, really having, it's more, again, I speak to it as a receptive energy. So it's something that's coming in versus expressing oneself. So whether this is somebody here that's in your environment or related to you, this Queen of Pentacles is an energy of being reliable. This is someone who is nurturing. This is somebody who's showing up as Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. They usually have a practical plan and they implement, and this could also be, again, advice for you as well, to implement more of a practical plan here, because there's something here of getting flashes of inspiration, possibly. Maybe not so much that, actually, because I was just looking at the Empress card that follows. So there could be a mother figure that's also here, or a couple of people. But I feel like this is the energy of being able to build on your achievements either way. So I feel like your personal space needs to be, you need to be more engaged with things. Again, books, music, animals, plants, whatever, it's more along that line of engaging with the things that are much more positive, because I do see the Empress here. And even though this looks like an ominous card, just the way the deck is, it still feels like the energy overall is very good, because the Empress is that energy of giving back to oneself. It's more nurturing. So again, this is sort of speaking to, taking the time out to not be in a big hurry, but certainly taking action on the things that help you to feel good. And I don't mean toxic things, because all the things around here are all very positive, even though I see that you're kind of dealing with a lot of emotional issues. I would still say that, your private world seems to be one that is a little overwhelmed with some, sense of lack and all kinds of worry and anxiety. But you're being called to stop looking at those things, start to actually re-engage with the world and start to find some of the light in situations. So this is things like taking the time to, splurge on yourself a bit, do something as far as, with your health, get a gym membership, or, and you can get really cheap gym memberships. I'm just going to say, not that I'm like advertising for everybody here, but I know that I don't know, I'm in Canada, so Fit for all of that, that's like, $13 every 2 weeks. So, you can, and they do have, I think, an initial fee of 65 or $70 or something just to kind of sign up. But just, saying you can get cheap memberships. You can go to the Y, although sometimes I know it's like $15 to get in for, but I'm just saying that there's things that you can do just to kind of keep yourself active. Going for a walk, go for a jog, kind of mark it off and create a bit of a system. Hi, Cisco. So, but either way, it's the little things that are going to help you to get past all of the things that you're feeling anxious about, and the stomach tightness and whatever it is that's kind of, anxiety, headaches, all of that. It's like little things that are starting to creep in here that start to affect your health. Um, but I feel like you have the ability to empower yourself and including others, because this is that energy of, knowing how to find a practical solution. So it's enjoy the challenge. You are given a challenge. Now, how do you overcome the obstacle? Oh, yeah. Hi, Cisco. Yeah, you're Cancer. He is Libra. Okay, I'll do something on the relationship front there too, but I did see you're still, because I see you impacted on such an emotional level, I think there's obviously something that's still going on there. But either way, I feel like you're going to enter, a slight amount of that peaceful sort of period in this month. It's like tapping into it slightly, but still kind of a lot of energy around worry. Um, so again, we've got Queen of Pentacles, and we also have the Empress. The Empress is known to be the card of, there's a lot of compassion for oneself here, like, or at least you need to address that. There can be, again, for others, two people in this reading sort of showing interest or showing up in this reading, again, maternal sort of figure or motherly figure alongside someone else who's just very caring, compassionate energy here. But I feel like there is a lot going on about the message is really basically remain open, remain open, remain receptive. There is a strong protective kind of energy around you at this time. But again, I still feel like there's a lot here that speaks to abundance. Someone's a good listener, someone's a good counselor, somebody has, because you've got inspiration, coming in with a little bit of the Knight of Cups, but it's more so along the lines of, I going to the forefront. This is where you've got a lot more going for you than you think you do. And again, it's like you're not even recognizing what you have that is of value, because there's plenty that's actually around you. But it's just you're not seeing all of the good connection with it. You just don't feel connected to it in some way, anyway. But okay, so going back to this connection here too. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to catch something that's falling. Okay, but what it is basically is it's kind of speaking to you not really seeing something that's there for you. And again, this could be people that are there as a support that you're just not really seeing them as a support, because I just feel like there is something here about a good, nurturing, passionate, possibly connection with someone as well. So it's almost like a couple of people here, but there's something there that can be built on. So I feel like in terms of finances, all of that is looking pretty good, even though you got some sense of worry over things. But I feel like you're being encouraged to embrace sort of natural gifts, the things that you actually have some talent in, because those talents are going to be the things that help you to bring your dreams into a reality. So there's something, again, about symbol of motherhood and that nurturing aspect, very strong, but it can also suggest that there's a new beginning here that will come when you start to take care of yourself. There's also this sense of stability that comes with the Empress. There's a sense of security, again, practical ideas that are coming in here. I still think that there's some emotional satisfaction here on some level that will be gained, that'll have a positive effect on you in those relationships or those connections, whether they're male or female. But there's definitely somebody who's here that's very maternal or has a real caring quality that is represented here. But either way, again, mother figure could also be relevant. But I just feel like somebody has a really good sense of money, and this is somebody who even for you, the success that you have that will be incoming will be of practical nature. So it's a practical success. So you need to focus on your creative expression and your practical success, because it seems like there's a really good balance there that will help you to bring your dreams into reality. So again, there's a lot of potential in these cards here. And I feel like that balance is going to come from those two particular energies about practicality and the Empress. Now, we do have some energy here. Again, it's like you're not really seeing the good things that are coming in, because you're not allowing the nurturing to come in, nurturing from nature, nurturing from animals, nurturing from, books or art or whatever. It's almost like there's too much going on here with the Knight of Wands. It's coming in pretty rapidly. So it's almost like there could be some kind of communication here, but there's also a sense of inconsistency. Because the Knight of Wands is that card of, if I do it inconsistently, I can procrastinate long enough and then I can say, I wasn't successful because XYZ. But in actual fact, if you put a little more consistency into whatever it is that you're doing, you're going to see that change. And again, it's whatever area of your life that you're trying to build up. It feels like, and you'll know what it is because it's the area of your life that you're the most inconsistent with. That's the area that you need to be focusing more on. And again, it is followed, excuse me, it is followed up by the Five of Swords. So clearly there's some issues here around poor communication. Definitely feeling a little bit of distance. Again, this could be a younger person here as well, but it feels like there's some kind of sorry guys, I'm gonna drink the coffee. My throat is always giving out here. Okay, but it just feels like there's a lot of energy here that is you blocking you still, because every time you get this forward motion, there's something that keeps halting you. It's like you're allowing you. So whether this was some kind of a betrayal in a love connection or in a relationship, friendship, whatever that, oh, not quite yet, Devansha. I just want to go through these cards and then I will for sure. But I do feel like there's something here about bold energy that's kind of, got strong drive for action, but then it gets pulled back. And it's either because emotions are running too high here, or there's something here about a consequence, around conflict. And again, it's like you feel defeated in some way. It could be again around an emotional situation, person, partner, whatever, friendship, but it feels like there is a need for you to let go of that grudge and make peace with the past in some way, because you're trying to make something change in someone else they're not really ready to make that change. So it does still speak to a combination of you looking after yourself and representing as, I like my own company. I like my own energy. I address my needs. I look after myself. And when you start doing that, other people start realizing that is you taking the time to care and taking time to care for yourself. Therefore, they also have to come in with that same sort of energy will be released. So again, it's you're trying to win old battles, almost is what I would say there. And trying to win old battles means you can't go forward. So it's almost like a self-destructive path, basically. So again, I feel like you be mindful of the impact that your actions and your thoughts and your words have on yourself and on others. There is again some kind of inconsistency that's coming in here around and you'll know what area, but I still feel like there is something here about get on with it, get on with it in terms of get past whatever this thing that, it keeps coming up and it's inconsistent and it's not sticking. So this is where you need to actually pursue it consistently. Pursue it consistently. If it's a person, I wouldn't say all the work there. I would say, this is someone who comes in and out of your life. And again, value you first, because when you value you, everything else starts to move forward. I do feel like you are actively searching for something, though, for sure. Okay. So we are sitting at the Eight of Wands. Now, the Eight of Wands is quick communication coming in here as well. It definitely speaks to that energy of can be strong emotion kind of thing here too. And eights are also about regeneration, but sorting through your options. It is a sense of renewal here as well. So again, eights are also about, but it is paired with the Page of Cups. So there's something about emotionally kind of rushing through something. Again, could be news of a positive connection or something coming through there. But I still feel like you are in a good for getting out of the stagnation, because the Eight of Wands means and the Knight of Wands is, even though it's inconsistent, it's still something is speeding up. So there's something that's starting to speed up. There's a little bit more of a rapid action, like I said, in going forward around an emotional situation. And I feel like, you're going to be kind of possibly even really excited by this communication that comes in. Said whatever you thought was going to be chaotic and went wrong is somehow turning around. It's taking you off guard a little bit. It's a little bit unexpected. So there's more of an open communication or an honesty that's coming in there. And I still feel like, again, it's information that's coming in, whether it's electronically or, whatever. It's kind of a rapid sense of communication, but also information that might bring you into a really good space here, because Page of Cups is still really good energy around the emotions. So I do feel like a lot of what you're working through is almost old. Doesn't feel like it's something new. There might have been something that triggered it here in the recent space in October, but this could even be an apology that's coming through here. But it just feels like it's more of an upward swing to something. So again, this can be something that's more meaningful in terms of a relationship, where someone is reaching out to you. And I would say that you still have a lot of worry about it, but I think you have to kind of follow your intuition a little bit on this one as well. But like I said, that Two of Cups is, or Page of Cups is still really good energy. So I would just say don't discount it, because it's almost another level of emotion. It's almost another new level of beginning to grow something. So, but it's not forgetting the past. It's trying to not be triggered by the past, but it is expanding more in the emotional. So Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio can also be relevant here, but the page's focus is to expand on something. So again, I just feel like there is something here about things going in a more positive direction. So again, if it's in regards to a relationship, something is more possible than it used to be. So I wouldn't be too alarmed over it, because like I said, whatever you felt was going to be a make or break sort of scenario here, I don't see that happening. It feels like you don't live in the past though, because like again, you're working through so much past energy, we might be tempted to stay there. But again, there is some kind of rapid recovery in a situation. The fact that we have that Eight of Wands coming in real quick with that page does indicate you've got a lot going on in the emotional space that is going to change. So I will say we're on to now the King of Swords. So King of Swords is still looking pretty good. It does feel like this could be Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy, the air signs for sure. But this is somebody who is coming in very possibly communicating with you as well, because this is a card of communication, but it's a mature energy either way. So there's a lot of people in this reading actually. King of Swords, like I said, feels like someone is, like I said, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Just trying to get a feel of it hard below, because we also have the King of Cups. So this could be, like I said, air sign dealing with a water sign. Very strongly coming up on both fronts there. Like there's a sudden surge of emotion, almost passion for something here as well. that comes in, just as, even though it was sort of felt like it was unstable and taken away in the beginning, it somehow is surging through again, and it's taking some kind of taking over with a powerful message. So it's almost like you need to seize the opportunity, seize the moment. Something is about to expand. Trust your intuition. You know, this is still a space where you are still being called to shape your own destiny. So it's almost like you're not doing the work on one level. That's what I would say there. You may be addressing just the emotional area, but that the emotions get balanced out by the physical as well. So by putting, you know, something physical into the world, by doing, again, whether it's exercise or doing something that grounds you, that will help to balance out the mindset and remove some of these blockages, because then you're not just stuck in nervous energy. But like I said, I mean, we've got two mature energies here. So King of Swords, and, sorry, and the King of Cups coming in. So King of Swords, like I said, can be kind of blunt in the way that somebody is dealing with something. But with the King of Cups, you know, it's almost like someone is being a little more distant or critical of another person, because the King of Cups is somebody who has more of mastery of their. So it feels like, and again, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, but, you know, even though they may be in control of their emotions or in touch with their emotions or their feelings, I feel like this is energy either way. So it's almost like there could be a bit of a conflict between this combination. There's a sort of a seesaw, you know, of bluntness, but the messages don't take it personally. Yeah, but in terms of a relationship, I would still say there is something here about you trying to reach for a new level of understanding. But again, there's a, it's almost like there's a little bit of a miscommunication between that energy there. Okay, so then we move into Two of Pentacles. So Two of Pentacles, you're kind of juggling something here. Again, it doesn't have to be money necessarily, because I did ask with the other ones on that further out. But I feel like you're not really, because the Two of Pentacles, like I said, is that card of overstretching your resources, or not, you know, feeling like you're playing with something. You know, you're kind of juggling around with maybe a connection, because it is followed by the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is that card of being stuck, and it feels like you're getting stuck. It's taking a little bit of energy to get there, but there's a little bit of that headway in the month of October. I'm not saying leaps and bounds or anything like that, but there's a little bit of headway. Like I say, Two of Pentacles, I'm just trying to figure that one out there, because it's almost like you're afraid to go forward. You're afraid to move ahead in a particular direction with somebody or with something. You're not sure. It's almost like there's so much waffling. It is causing a lot of procrastination here, and that's definitely what I'm seeing. I still feel like you were, you know, on the upper side of things. A lot of ups and downs in this month, I would say, for you. And it's causing you to freeze into place, I guess is what I want to say there. Because you're not really feeling secure. And that's what the difference is. It's like you're focusing. You're focusing your energy in the wrong places. And it's almost like you're not too, well, or have not been willing to sacrifice something. But one thing is affecting the other. Just know that. So, you know, you're beginning to start to see that things are connected. And whatever you're doing daily, you know, daily, because they say that we tend to generally have thoughts that we've had the day before and the day before and the day before. So there's a lot of things that are repetitive here. So that's what I'm seeing, is you're not changing enough to make enough of a difference. You know, if sometimes when we have a thought, we think that by having the thought, that's made the difference, but it's actually the action that, you know, once the thought comes into play, when you act on the thought in a positive way, then you start to bring more positive things. But it takes an accumulation of those things to really make a difference. So it's almost like you're unwilling to further action, which is kind of pushing you into the stuck in the rut sort of mode. Again, water energy strong here too, but you're in a period of transitioning, is what I would say in the month of October. You're still in a transition because it's like you need to be more flexible and you need to be able to find deeper meaning and purpose in life. And that's what seems to be where the confusion is, because you're spending so much time on that, but you're not doing anything new to kind of adjust your point of view to allow you to find that deeper meaning and that purpose. So this is kind of that victim consciousness. So therefore you end up staying still. You're hanging on to the habits, and it's habits that you need to release. So every day do something different, think differently, speak to yourself differently, consistently enough that you will eventually start to see something change in a positive. Because it's almost like you're unsure what to believe here because you feel trapped, you feel pressured, you feel lonely. There's a sense of, maybe not trusting things, but again, the call to change requires flexibility. It requires you to look within, but also to look outside of yourself. You're spending a lot of time in the internal. That's where you need to kind of turn things around, but it's almost like you can't let go of the negative beliefs, and it's creating a level of inflexibility. So now we're on to the Seven of Cups. There's a level of confusion here as well. Now, because I do see that there is some leadership qualities here in this period, I would say that leadership energy is coming through with the King of Cups and the King of Swords. That's leadership energy here. So whether they're influencing you or whatever, it's speaking to emotional intelligence and, having a good sense of one's intellect, right? Having a sense of the practical. You know how to put one foot in front of the other, but you're not finding the balance between the spiritual and the intellect. I feel like you have that potential here because it's a very powerful combination. It's leadership, it's strength of character. So it feels like you need to analyze less and take more physical action. You are stuck. Like I said, you're allowing yourself to be stuck. But when I see the Seven of Cups here, this is still that energy that is going to change everything. You're basically, there's still not much going on a lot going on in your head. But it's almost like you're almost overwhelmed by what is real and what is not, You're creating a reality that isn't necessarily physically appearing, even though it appears that it is, if that makes any sense. But it's like there's something here around, you're going to have to make some kind of a decision. Clearly not right now, because you're in this fantasy world of creating trouble for yourself, because and it seems to be around a connection. Whoever this important connection is, whoever that important to you, there is something here about wishful thinking. Something might be right under your nose, but you're too busy looking on the bad or the confusing aspects, the things that leave you in indecision. You're allowing yourself to just stay stuck. So again, this is about you trying to find a way to release all of that, and the only way to do that is by coming up with new ideas. If something is 100% true or not, how do you look at the situation differently? You can look at the situation using your rational mind by saying, this person's not mature enough to deal with this situation, or this person's not for a, sensible, practical, long-term relationship, or, these are just examples. Doesn't mean speak to your particular situation, but because there's so much vacillation here with this connection, you have to go all in and take the pain, still being aware of red flags. If you see any kind of consistency of the old patterns, then of course, you either have it differently, say, let's go see a counselor, or, how can we reconnect? What is it that, you feel like you're not getting from this situation? And then you say to yourself, not that I'm not good enough, but that, is that something I can provide? It's breaking into smaller steps. And then when you come to a general consensus, that there's enough to build on versus the things that you have to work on, then you just throw yourself into it. If you still feel like you're empty and abandoned, want to walk away from something, then you don't feel like it's worth it enough for you to go in. But if it's because the situation is just allowing you to remain in the past, then you're the one that has to do the inner work. And the only way to do the inner work is build your self-esteem up, right? So building your self-esteem up is going to be from things that you do in the physical world. It's finding a way to like yourself again, because if you like yourself, other people are going to like you as well. And not everybody's going to like us anyway, so really, who cares? Right? Because in the grand scheme of things, how do they impact your world? Are they going to make you a millionaire? Not likely. Are they going to help you to be a better person? Not likely. So does their opinion matter? Not likely. Anyway, just putting that out there. But it does a lot of confusion around a relationship this month. Okay, last card's out, and then we go to some of the readings there for people. So again, Nine of Swords, you are sitting in a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry, a lot of drama-filled sort of apprehension. You're feeling vulnerable, feeling like there's a sense of hopelessness. Maybe you're feeling like, because with the Five of Cups, you just don't feel like everybody's, emotionally giving back to you. But again, the message is give back to yourself, and then others will start to give back to you. If they see that you're doing really well and that you're liking who you are, instead of you waiting for their response to see if you like you, if they see that you are getting out there and taking yourself out for coffee or going to movies and going places, joining groups that, for maybe writers groups or meetup groups that have things that you have interest in, then all of a sudden other people start to go, wow, what has this person got that I missed somehow before, and so it starts to take off the serious pressure, and allows you, and so you won't be abusing yourself, and it allows you to really start to see that there's a lot going on out there that you can prefer versus making assumptions about what everybody thinks about you. Because again, are those people operating in your best interest, or are you just making up things that you think they think? So it's that kind of energy. This is all minor arcana. So again, I feel like it's almost you creating your own setbacks by emotionally revisiting the past instantly, in this space of thinking nothing is salvageable, everything is hopeless, everything is, gone. But in actual fact, build a bridge back to you. And when you do that, it's going to create the sea. Again, we've got Justice, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy here as well. This is, and further out, it's just clarifiers, but it does still speak to creating some kind of a balance, does speak to some kind of a decision, taking a hard look at yourself and finding a way to fix all those problems. So whether you've got legal problems, whether you've got, and again, it would go in your favor if you do. But again, it's starting to get a clear picture of what you want to accomplish and what you want from a relationship, what you want for yourself, from yourself. And again, just concentrate on the things that help you to remain or feel more intact instead of broken. So you're trying to create some flow, some balance. It's all of that. So again, this is that space where you start to take care of yourself. You walk by the beach in the hot sun, you read the books that help you to build up your wisdom. Because when you let go of who you think you are and remember who you actually are is the person who's empowered. Your pain is the thing that you were here to endure. And I don't mean endure, that's maybe not the right word, but the pains that come are obstacles so that you can get past them. You're thrown an obstacle so that each time you say to yourself, begin again and be more flexible. I'm going to become the best version of myself. How to do that? How do I build each part of myself up? What would you tell someone else if you were instructing them, teaching them? How do you become the best version of yourself? How would you get up? So even though you may not know all the things, you may not know all the interests that you have, that's not the point. The point is get out there, do something different, and then you decide, did I like that? Did I not like that? Did I like that group, that meetup group, or did I not like that meetup group? And you don't have to become emotionally immersed in every situation, to its fullest. Sometimes, a ball is just a ball, a bird is just flying to explore the world. It doesn't necessarily have every day go out and aggressively look for food. Sometimes a bird is just flying around just to get to know its space and take an overview of the situation and, become one with nature and really start to enjoy, some of the small on your on your body or the, whatever it is, listening to the water, the beach. So that's why I say that's just my examples. But for whoever this resonates for, it just seems like that you're putting yourself through a lot to, to take one small step. When in actual fact, again, your blockages are because you're making them real. If you think it, you become it. So if you're constantly feeling stuck, you will be stuck. So if you start to think, I'm successful in my relationships, I'm successful, in my work situations. And if people don't like me and they stand in front of me, that's fine. I'm still true to myself. I still do what is right for me. No costs. Sure, you have to play the game to a certain extent, but overall, don't lose your integrity over it. It's again, self-talk boils down to self-talk. So Chariot now is also speaking to making that decision, and that's where the Justice was as well. So you're definitely coming up to a decision here in this next little bit, and it feels like going to be a favorable one for you. It's not that I see a lot of release around all of this stuff, but it's almost like you're choosing to focus on the brighter side. Like I said, the Chariot energy does speak to really can be a very aggressive energy, or it can be just a really assertive energy to get somewhere. But it definitely feels like you're in the direction of really taking charge of your world again here, and you're starting to make better decisions. Ones that help you to balance out your life. You're doing things in a very slow, methodical way because you're very practical minded, especially at least in this month, October. But I definitely feel like you're in the right direction. So despite whatever was a bit of a setback there with the start of October, I feel like, again, the Cancer sign is you showing up with the Chariot. I feel like you're overcoming the obstacles. And this is about you starting to be much more self-disciplined in what it is you want to go after. It feels like there's a lot more purpose. In this period now, you're starting to create your own destiny. So like I said, you're working on some things here, or there's something that's coming through. I don't feel like you are focusing in the direction of relationships, though. You're starting to put that one on hold for the moment, because the card that's coming up here is the Nine of Cups, but you are searching for your own happiness here for sure. So you're going to start to put you before, before everything else. And again, this is starting to figure out, what is it you want to do to either, it could be also getting another car, or something like that. But whatever it is, it makes you, sorry, it makes you happy, because nines are about bringing things into conclusion, bringing it around, making it manifest. It's about integrating it into your life in some way. So again, I feel like that Nine of Cups is definitely speaking to you getting something. Again, this is just the clarifier. It may not happen right in October, but you're in the energy of, meaning your thought pattern is going down a certain process, which is going to bring about this level of happiness. So this is where you are finding that you will get to it. You will get to that depth of meaning, meaning in the things that you want to do. I feel like you're more on a spiritual quest, because there's a lot of cards of being alone here, but that's good for you in a sense, because it's following your inner voice toward these new horizons. But again, it's also about still stepping something new, maybe involving yourself with other people that have more knowledge than you, because I see a lot of the King cards here coming out, but it's almost like you're starting to get more emotional satisfaction because you're choosing a direction to get better at. You're choosing something that is going to help to expand in a positive way. So again, relationships are there's too much confusion around it right now, so it feels like you're going to kind of step back for the moment, but you are definitely still in that energy of, I want to do things that make me feel good. I want to do things that help me to get what I want and have meaning and have purpose. So there is a wish coming true here up ahead, of something, and you're not focusing on it. And so it'll likely come to you, but you are appreciating yourself more so in energy. So again, it might be a little further out for some of you. You're not all making a decision on a Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever. You get through your problems and things at your own pace. So, but I still feel like overall the energy is quite positive. Okay, so that's what I have for, actually, I might just do one last thing. Then we'll do Devancha's reading and a couple of the other questions on there. But I just want to do that last bit there on advice. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I have advice cards coming out here, and and my lovely brother gave me these cards, so I am super thankful. And this is the Divine Directions card. So, cards. All right, so we're going to do these ones. So what is the divine direction Cancer in the month of October? What is the divine direction that they need in the month of October? Divine direction. What is needed in October? Okay, strength. You have an enormous amount of strength and courage. Remain focused, stand tall, and shine. What else? Protection. You're not alone. You are being looked after by your spirit guides and angels, and so of your ancestors clearly are coming through here. So there's something here about staying positive because you have something good coming in. And next one out. What is coming in? What is coming in that they need to know in the month of October for Cancer? Wait. Take time to think about the matter at hand. Don't be tempted to rush. And what is the good that's coming in? Holiday. It's time to go on that holiday that you've been dreaming about. Live life. And next one, we'll just do the last one. Animals are important to you. Animals heal, comfort, and relax you. That's amazing. Excellent. All right. Let's see. Okay, maybe I'll just do one more from the Art of War deck. Advice for Art of War. Advice from Art of War. For Cancer, advice from Art of War deck. What's the best advice for Cancer in the month of October? Don't be deceived. Life is harder when we are deceived by others, but it's even harder when we deceive ourselves. When we tell ourselves that others are better, smarter, and more deserving of happiness than we are, or when emotions get in the way of our rational choices. Much of our freedom and power comes from control of our choices. Choose not to be deceived. Oh my gosh, if that isn't exactly what's going on in this read. And one, develop your self-confidence. Self-confidence is an individual's trust in his or her own abilities, capacities, and judgments. When you were feeling better about your, in other words, your skill set, so keep building your skill set. Doesn't matter if you fail at it, the more times you do it, you're just going to get good at it. The more energized and motivated you are to take action and achieve your goals, and also align yourself with people that know more than you, because even if you fail, you learn. If you lack confidence in yourself, others can detect it. You won't reach your full potential or inspire others. You are born to be a leader here, Cancer. So leaders lead, and they don't do it just by having not failed. You have to know how to fail to teach other people how to get past it as well. And it's not even failure in the way that we say think failure, because really it's about how do you redirect yourself. You have to, make mistakes or whatever and able to figure out how to get past it. So get your timing right. Timing is critical in war, in business and sport, and in our relationships with other people. Deciding on your strategy or your plan is essential, but it is only as good as it is appropriate for the situation. So don't rush in like a bull in a china shop. Wait, and when the time is right, don't hesitate. So again, there's something here about you take action, build up as much as you can in terms of your skill set, because the rest is just going to fall into place once you have enough skills built up to go forward. Okay, now we're questions. All righty. So Devansha. Okay, let's see here. Sorry, I'm just going to get these cards back out of the range of things. Okay, so Devansha, I've got to go back a little bit to see what you had there. And I'm definitely, and then we'll do Ramesh as well. And, okay, so, and show empathy. So Devansha, what kind of guy would Devansha marry? 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 I think that you should be definitely around someone who is a thinker, somebody who's quite wise, somebody who's got some ambition, some motivation, just from the cards that are coming out here. What else? I don't know why. You always get the Three of Cups. So I don't know if this is a celebration of some sort with this person, but it's almost like it's the Three of Cups. Why does the Three of Cups keep showing up? It's like a decision could be made really soon here. What is the Judgment? It's almost like you're almost at the end of this cycle of suffering and difficulty. And then there's some options that'll open up to you. So it feels like you have more than one option. There's the practical guy here, and then there's the lover. Got two options. And I think that was what was coming through before. It's always kind of the same too. It's not like you have one person it looks like it's going to be your choice, really. Because the energy here of the Page of Cups is obviously a younger person with that lover's kind of energy that, comes through with, romance and poetry, and, says the right things, very heartfelt, really motivated in that way of, um, just really motivated in that way of, where all things just seem like it's just how do I say, just an entry into, romance, you know what I mean? It's something along that line. So, I mean, that's the energy of a Page of Cups. So this is definitely somebody who is, you know, looks for meaning, emotional connection to things, meaning in the things that they do. So I feel like that's one person that you're dealing with. The other person, like I said, seems to be slow, methodical, dealing with the money, dealing with the aspects of, that are practical in the world, very slow to come to things, more of a mature energy. This is the other person who definitely feels that, they set goals, they want to achieve them. They're stable. This is long-term security. This is that person who commits to, a relationship and nurtures things, but they do so in such a steady way, but the finances are still the main energy out here. So this is that person who's hardworking, but also, attentive, person in terms of a relationship. But they enjoy a relationship, but they might be a little on the inflexible side when it comes to romance. I don't think this is somebody who's really involved with the romance aspect. So it's almost like you're getting the alter ego, I guess, of what that would be. Because I feel like, the Knight of Pentacles is probably the person you're going to go for, um, over the long term, but the short term might be one. But I still feel like I said, this is somebody who is, the person who's not really going to be soft hearted. They're kind of frugal about their money. They're really practical minded. Again, I just feel like this is the person you're going to end up with, but it is still a solid, stable, committed relationship either way. And it's almost, it is the reliable relationship, trustworthy one. It's where everything still is pretty good. But again, it feels like you're still sitting at a level of confusion. Um, Sorry, I'm just bringing it a little closer there to see it. But it feels like there's still a level of confusion around, to choose. I do feel like you will be choosing the stable person over the romantic one, even though that's more of an experience and it's something that's still a part of you, something that you would still want to endure or enjoy or that kind of thing. But the Seven of Cups still tells me that there's still a little bit of, the decision is coming. But it's almost like right now you're kind of in that fantasy world and sort of living with the idea of, the possibilities. So it's not like you're in that space yet to think critically, but I feel like you will end up with the person who is the stable oriented kind of person because of, you might still date the other person, but I feel like there is a little bit of vacillation around what it is that you want in a lover or in a mate, because we want to fall in love with love, and you want to focus on, sorry guys, one second. So it's almost like I would say you're trying to, sometimes it helps to actually write down the things that you want to see in a person. And if you only could choose the top three, what would top three things be versus, because you're not going to get everything that we want in someone for sure. Sometimes you have enough of a foundation to work with a person that you can grow with. And so long as you've got somebody you can grow with, that is a relationship that is actually going to be more enduring. Otherwise, you end up sitting on the shelf and you end up accepting whatever it is that the other person offers. So then you really have to live your own life and live in your own world. So again, it feels like you need to look at the things that you prioritize and the other person prioritizes. What are the things that are most foundational for you, that you have, that you can't be without and able to go forward with someone? Because like I say, you're sitting at the Ten of Swords. So I feel like this has been that situation where you have been really let down in some way, or you feel like you've had to start over again, you've been hurt in some relationship aspect. Does feel like could be abandonment of some sort, but either way, or stabbed in the back. But it feels like the relationship was one that was a heavy loss, that kind of thing. And it may have kind of paralyzed you in some way. But I still feel like Judgment card is out here. You're about to make a decision. Again, still feels like it's in around a connection or people that you know, because the Judgment does speak to it being a really big decision. So I feel like, you were almost in that space because you're sitting at the tennis, and the Judgment card is the ultimate decision. So it's almost like you're going to have a choice that you'll be met with a choice here very soon. Because you're almost in that energy of being through it. Ten of Swords means there's just something a little bit beyond that before you move into it. The fact that I still see Three of Cups could very well be this is somebody that you know in a group setting or that you meet in a group setting, but it's almost like I said, it's like a fresh start with this connection. So, or with these connections. So again, I feel like you are willing to release the past, and able to make something open up here, but there's still a little bit of a conflict that you're kind of working through, weighing the options, between the two people or parties or whatever. But I still feel like overall the relationship that you will choose will be one that will read and is okay, committing to long-term growth. Because I think when it comes to romanticized relationships, it's good if there's a friendship there because then you have a foundation. But when it comes to one that we just enjoy feeling good, well, what happens when you don't feel good? What happens if you're both hit with a problem or an issue in life where there's not enough money or there's some, huge thing that happens that throws you both into a situation? It's more about how you handle the difficulties than how you handle the good things, because the good things are good. It's how do you both grow with difficulties, and that is, I feel like, how you're still going to have to make some kind of a decision here, but it almost feels like you'll choose the person who's going to be maybe a little bit more engaged with the work situation. I'm going to ask another card on that one too, but big cards around decision. And again, still around the Three of Cups. The Hermit, I do feel like this is somebody that you're going to choose that will have to be, like I said, very cerebral. I feel like this is somebody that you would like to have conversations with. This is somebody that you would really engage with about life, somebody I think you could even, it's kind of student teacher, but somebody who has the ability to teach about their life or about, and so there's kind of that somebody who has to have a certain level of spirituality or inner focus is what I would say there. Okay. Again, it still feels like it's somebody that you know, Devansha, both of them, because it keeps coming up with the same on yours. What else are we here? And okay, I'll ask one more. What is going on in the life of the person that Devansha will? Well, again, I still see two people, so I don't know that which one we're getting here. Will Devansha get married? Will Devansha get married? Will Devansha get married? Will Devansha get married? Yes, successful card of yes. And what is the World card? Well, that's kind of a romantic in and out sort of card, and it is somebody who's kind of flirty energy, but it does feel like this person is still at a distance. I don't know that you would be the victor in the situation. It feels like, will Devansha get married? Will Devansha get married? Something will have to shift around the communication area. Will Devansha get married? So there might be some communication issues. Yeah, I'm finding cards like, it feels like there's going to be something of a self-sabotaging nature around it. So I don't know, but it's still like the High Priestess. There's something unknown here. Here's the thing. The Knight of Cups is coming up. So it's kind of indicating that the person that you might find is more romantic is here, because it is followed up by the Two of Cups. Will that be the person that she marries, though? It's the next person coming in, but who will that be, the one that she marries? Will that be the person she marries? I don't think it's the person you marry, though, but it is the next person coming in. What is the Four of Pentacles? I feel like the other person is still holding back, still very independent, focused on money. Again, lots of cards of still being at the 10, but still movement going forward. And I still have the card of coming through with somebody from the past. So I still feel like you're in that direction of, yeah, you're still working through something there. Okay. And what else do we have there? And empathy. What are A's thoughts for show empathy? What are A's for show empathy? Okay, the cards coming out is that somebody is feeling like they're a burden. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of stress around. A lot of anxiety. Somebody's in their head. Yeah, not good today. Anyway, and again, energy is fleeting, so it doesn't mean that tomorrow won't be a better day. But for sure, I think that this person is not really thinking. It feels like the battle is just harsh. Feels like, I don't know if there's been some kind of a disagreement, but it feels like this person feels like there's been a lot of disagreements that nobody's really winning. However, what is the Three of Cups? Why is the Three of Cups here? Maybe there's a third-party intervention. There's water sign energy here. Maybe there was something at a celebration. Things will work out, but right now I feel like there's been a lot of energy around dispute, argument. I don't know why. What are A's thoughts about show empathy today? What are A's thoughts about show empathy today? Okay, well, I feel like things are still in the manifestation mode. In other words, there's still something there to be worked with, but it feels like there's still some toxicity. Things are moving in the right direction. Things will balance out, but again, there's something here around, I don't know if there's been aggression or something, or some kind of toxic behaviors, but it does feel like there's kind of an aggressive energy around that. I don't know why. Maybe extreme jealousy or something, but there's been like a real dominating kind of energy around that. So I don't know if that relates for you. Oh, he finished it. You've been sad. Yeah, like things will balance out there. But right now I think it's still in a harsh sort of environment. Whatever the conversations are, they're not going in the right direction yet. I do think that look further out, things will balance out, but not right now. And Ramesh, in for Ramesh. What is coming in for Ramesh? I'll just probably do this last one just because my phone battery's dying. What is coming in for Ramesh? Okay, well, Ramesh, the card that fell out was the mother energy or the maternal energy nurturing, but that's abundance. But let's just see. Could be Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. Person coming in. What is going on with Ramesh? What's the big energy coming in for Ramesh? Some kind of a give and take, or some kind of reciprocity, some kind of a connection to something family oriented for sure. I do feel like there's going to be some kind of taking place with you, some kind of happy event. I don't know what this is, but 10 of Cups is the ultimate. So I feel like you've got something really good to look forward to. I don't know if this is just a family event instead of like a relationship issue of some sort, but either way, 10 of Cups is the ultimate. I would still say that there's something that did kind of fly out there too that was in around, oh, so maybe it's family helping you out here on some level as the immediate energy. There's something there around that because there's some kind of, there's some kind of, could be even like helping you out with money, but there's an exchange. Somebody's giving more of themselves or their time, but there's something here that is going to come in here and help you in some way. So token of comfort or support, but that's the big energy that's the immediate coming in for you. And again, it could be around, but it's going to make you incredibly happy either way. So it could be money that's through here as well. Some kind of resources, something that you needed. Anyway, I think that's about as much power I've left in the phone here. So I am always glad to see you guys. Thank you for supporting me and following me along. I will do another reading here, probably for, well, I always like Libra because Libra is always showing up for me too. But we'll try to do some for Gemini and some other cards. But anyway, I got to get going. I got some things I got to do today. So keep moving forward, guys. I'll do another reading hopefully later in the day. Till next time.